Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Harp here, and I am recording a series between Alpha Rabbit or A Rabbit and NLSLAYER, and they are about to do their match. Both are very good friends of mine, and let's go how their series goes. Both are equally good players, and this will be very interesting fight to see. So they will be starting now. I have started recording. This is for Monotype fall seasonals. I forgot to mention. Okay, and they're about to play, challenge each other. Alpha Rabbit also plays RU, so I think he is little bit more experienced in terms of Pokemon, and they have already started the battle. And this is the first matchup, which is Ice versus Dark. Now this was very interesting on Rabbit's part to go for, and ballsy as I might say, to go for Ice for game 1, and Rabbit decides to use a balanced Dark team. And he also, this is a decent matchup actually, it could go either way. However, looking at it, it will be hard for Rabbit's team to get rid of Hazard, since Slayer has Mega Sableye along with Stealth Rock, Tyranitar. And this is interesting, Greninja set here with Grass Knot. And Greninja in return gets very weakened due to priority Ice Shard. That was a good play. Slayer decides to attack Kyurem, and it was actually smart play by Rabbit to go for a substitute and to possibly scout for what Slayer is doing, but Slayer decided to attack Kyurem, which in return has made it quite weak. And he reveals that it is actually a substitute and life orb set. And Slayer switches out into his Hydreigon here. Since that Greninja was in Choice Scarf, I think this is a Choice Scarf set. And here Mandibus gets Defog and Kyurem gets a free switch in, and he also heals itself with Roost. This Sub-Kyurem is looking to be problematic for Slayer's team. Sub Ice Beam Roost, and I think it is Fusion Bolt. And here the Pinch Berry comes in to clutch and knocks off the life orb. Now it is little bit easier to check this Kyurem. Slayer predicts it and switches out into his Mandibus, but this is not a choice sand slash choice bend set. I think this is Swords Dance plus Z, because you don't see the life orb recoil. Now here Slayer can freely go into his Tyranitar to set up rocks, but he decides to go into his Hydreigon. Let's see what he does. Ninetales is more or less a free switch in unless Hydreigon decides to use a fire type move. Dark Pulse did very less actually. I was expecting it to do around 50%. And here Muck goes for a curse. I think this is a Z move set. I think this is ICM Z or Darkiname Z. It will be interesting to see what move Sandslash does here. Because currently at +1 I think, and Muck also has Pinch Berry, so it certainly tanks an Earthquake from this range. Make a move please. I know they are thinking, but here I am recording. And Rabbit goes for EQ here, which Muck tanks quite comfortably. Rabbit decides to go for the Iron Head flinch, and luckily he also gets a critical hit. And Muck here goes for one more curse, which is not only making it harder to kill for rabbits. No berry right now. And here he is revealing his Z move, Sub-Zero Slammer. Oof, knockoff. I don't know why he went for Rapid Spin here. This is actually a very weird set. I mean, I have seen Z move with Swords Dance. It is actually you use Swords Dance with Z, and if you are using Life Orbs and Slash, then you use Rapid Spin. So I think Rabbit should have had Swords Dance on his set. And if it was Swords Dance, then Sandslash defeated him, Alolan Muck 1 versus 1. So he still has the berry. He should go for knockoff. And it kills Lapras. Honestly, this game just lopsided one side very quickly. And Rabbit forfeits, giving Slayer the win for game 1. It was interesting on Rabbit's part to pick, but unfortunately, if it was only Swords Dance, then Rabbit had a better chance against Curse Muck. So let's see what types they both bring for game 2. Rabbit will need to win this round to go for a game 3. They both haven't started yet. And yes, so it is psychic versus ground. Now again, this is very interesting since Slayer has Celebi on his team, which can take care of defensive core of Hippodon and Sesmito very easily. At the same time, Rabbit has very strong attackers in Landorus and Garchomp. This could go either way. Very interesting to see. Very interesting matchup. So here Rabbit leads off with Landorus and Slayer leads off with his Galard. Now if it is Ice Punch, then it is very bad for Landorus since Mega Galard outspeeds Landorus. I don't think Rabbit will stay in. Weirdly enough, Slayer decides to switch out his Galard and goes into his Latios. And Draco Meteor did huge damage. I think this is Choice Specs. I don't think this is Assault Twist, says Meteor. And Rabbit goes into his Mamoswine, which may be possibly a banned set. I think this was a risky play on Slayer's part. He had a safe switch in into his Slowbro to see whether the Mamoswine is choiced or not. Since Slowbro left banded Earthquake. Slowbro is also a problem now since it can freely spam Scald against his team now that Sesmitoad has been KO'd. And Garchomp does a crit Z move, taking out the problematic Slowbro, which walls his Excadrill, which is problematic, troublesome for Excadrill. I think this is Scarf or whatever, it still outspeeds. I think Slowbro left non-boosted Z move. And here Rabbit predicts Slayer switching out and goes for Earthquake here. Slayer brings in his Victini. Garchomp is at full. I think Excadrill can win this late game by using Iron Head. It just needs some more chip damage against Slayer's teams. Victini is already getting weakened since it switched into Stealth Rock. And here Victini uses Toxic. This is interesting. Slayer decides to go into his Galard and sack it. Now this Garchomp is locked into Draco Meteor, so Slayer will revenge kill it with his own Draco Meteor. But honestly, this is more or less done. Excadrill just wins now, I think. And here Latios misses Draco Meteor and Garchomp kills. Yeah, exactly what I said. Excadrill kind of won this late game with Slowbro gone. And Landorus just wins now. I don't think this is Choice Scarcity, and even if it's Choice Scarf, Landorus lives whatever Choice Scarf Victini throws. So currently it is tied at 1-1 for both Rabbit and Slayer. Now there will be game 3 which will decide the outcome of this match. Very interesting matchups, honestly. Both were neutral matchups. Neither had advantage on team preview. Let's see what matchup we get for game 3. So game 1, game 2 and game 3. Honestly, if Slayer had Slowbro not died to a critical hit, I think this game was in Slayer's hand, because Slowbro checked Excadrill. But and it was also unfortunate that Latios missed Draco Meteor, but it happens. So here is game 3. Oh, and interestingly, Slayer used water and Rabbit used electric. On team preview, of course, it is Rabbit who is at advantage here. Slayer will have to play this very smart to win. And Slayer leads off with his Greninja and Rabbit leads with his Golem. And this is not Air Balloon Golem, so it may be a Focus Sash set or possibly specially defensive Golem to take care of Volcarona. Oh my god. So that was a normal explosion. And I was like, why did Swampert got hit by an explosion by Golem? worked out for Rabbit, because if it was galvanized, then of course explosion was electric type and Swampert walled the shit out of Golem. Very lucky, very lucky. Now Swampert is very weak right now. And once Swampert dies, it is just an open frenzy for Rabbit's team to spam electric stabs in them. This honestly went from bad to worse very quickly. This is pretty much decided right now actually. Swampert is very weak unless Slayer somehow gets a free turn, and if Slayer has rest, then there's still some chance. If Slayer has rest on Mega Swampert. Other than that, this is pretty much done. And Raichu goes for Psychic. There's no life on recoil, which means that it is Nasty Plot Z moveset. Should have U-turned out here. No, this is not rest. I think Raichu is very free to go for Thunderbolt or Psychic. Psychic will kill Mega Swampert, and Thunderbolt threatens everything else. And now ooh. Rabbit reveals Grass Knot, which was a good play actually. He caught Greninja on the switch and made it very weak. Now it just dies to Rock. And here Slayer is fishing for flinches, and he got a flinch. Tapu Koko is too weak, but I think Raichu wins this very easily at this stage. Zapdos goes for defog, and Toxapex is adamant on having toxic spikes. Honestly, if Swampert was rest, this could have made a bit of difference for Slayer. Even Zeraora wins now. Plasma Fist. No switch-ins at all. Goes for Baneful Bunker for the toxic and some chip damage, but it's not gonna work at this stage. So this is pretty much done. We have Rabbit winning against Slayer for Monotype Fall Seasonals. Interesting games. Unfortunately, having a wrong ability worked out for Slayer. Unfortunately for Slayer, having a wrong ability on his Golem really worked out for Rabbit. And so this is done with Rabbit winning the series. The first games were Dark versus Ice, which Slayer won. Second, it was Ground versus Psychic, which Rabbit managed to win. And the third was Electric versus Water, as you can see, which ended in Rabbit winning the series. So this is done. It was fun series and filled with few surprises, as you can see. Early game here with Golem hitting Explosion to a Swampert. So this is done, and if you like such content on competitive Monotype, then please be sure to subscribe this channel, and if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, and that's it. Thank you and bye bye.